Now, look, this may be a big deal for voters in November. I'm talking about America's spending out of control. The national debt will reach $13 trillion probably by the end of next week. Joining us now is Bernard Whitman. He's a former Clinton advisor, and he's the president of Whitman Insight Strategist. Bernie, welcome back to the program. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You know politics as well as anybody. I put it to you that in November of this year, that $13 trillion national debt, big-time spending, that's going to be an issue.
Honestly, Stuart, I don't believe that the national debt is going to play a major role in this year's upcoming elections, and here's why. We are just coming off of a major economic recovery. We're in the early stages where people are mostly concerned about jobs. Now, that's not to say that paying down the national debt isn't going to be critical to our long-term economic recovery and prosperity, and it's not to say that this won't become a factor in the 2012 elections. But I think for November, we're not going to see that, and the recent polling bears that out.
Wait a second. November is what, 6 months away? Voters will be surely thinking, we spent nearly $1 trillion to create jobs. Didn't work. We're still close to 10%. That $1 trillion added to the deficit, which added to the national debt. Surely they're closely linked.
Well, with all due respect, we've added over 500,000 jobs in the last 2 months. We've had the biggest job growth in 4 years. We had 44,000 jobs created in manufacturing, which is the biggest increase in 12 years last month. Now, what voters are concerned about is the economy, jobs. They're concerned about the high price of health care. They're more concerned. There are more
10% unemployment.
It's going to be there. But Stuart, the facts don't lie. People are more concerned about immigration than they are about the national debt.
The facts don't lie. $1 trillion spent on stimulus did not get the unemployment rate to hold at 8%. It went to 10%. That's going to be on their minds. That brings in national debt $13 trillion. Am I wrong, Charles?
Absolutely. I mean, Bernie, when you guys start tweaking the numbers to make that what makes you feel good, I can't believe you're going to base strategy on that. Are you paying attention? Did you see what happened in Nevada, in West Virginia, in New Jersey, in Virginia? Are you paying attention to Scott Brown? 40 million people on food stamps right now. 8 million over the last year. That's what real people care about.
That is precisely why what people want to hear about in the upcoming elections is the plan to create jobs. That's what they're focused on. That's what they understand.
That's what the stimulus plan was supposed to be.
Exactly.
The stimulus plan was supposed to create jobs. Where are they? Shovel-ready projects out the wazoo.
How can you say that when we had 290,000 jobs created last month? We had 3 straight months.
After you lose 8 million jobs and you get 200,000. I didn't mean to cut you off, Tracy, but come on, don't talk to us like we're silly.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real here. Let's talk about the big picture. Since the president came into office, where are we at net on jobs? Down a few million.
Let's talk about the big picture. Here's where the national debt is likely to play out. Not in 2010, but in 2012. Here's why. We're going to have smaller majorities in Congress. We are not going to lose the House. We're not going to lose the Senate. But we are going to have smaller majorities. What does this require? This will require, as it did in the 95-96 period when Clinton was in office, it will require more of a bipartisan approach. It's going to require the president to work with Congress to control spending, and that will then give rise to concern about the national debt.
That's not going to translate to the voters in the booth. When you walk in the booth, all you're thinking about is my taxes are going up to pay for whatever the hell it is they did down in D.C. I'm not getting any benefit from it, but I'm taking home less money. That's what translates in the polls.
And they don't understand.
They don't have
the
to
voters
understand.
Do not understand that the national debt is so critical to that. What they understand is, do I have a job? What's the price of health care? And where do I have money in my bank account to spend? You know, retail sales were up almost 0.5% last month. That was a surprise.
Wow.
The economy is starting to come around.
Is Hillary going to challenge President Obama in 2012? Would you like to see that?
Hillary Clinton, I think, is doing an extraordinary job as Secretary of State.
Would you like to see her challenge?
You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see Hillary Clinton serve as Secretary of State in the second Obama administration.
So, she doesn't challenge? You don't want to see her challenge?
I don't believe that she will challenge.
You don't want to see her challenge?
I think that the economy is going to recover.
Do you want to see her challenge, yes or no?
No, because I want to see Barack Obama reelected on a strong economy going forward.
I think your cell phone's ringing, and I think Hillary's on the line. Okay. Bernard Whitman, it was a pleasure. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Stuart.
Appreciate it. All right, gas prices, well, they're down again. A gallon of regular dropped a penny overnight. $2.88 is the national average. Truckers, sorry to say, diesel held steady at $3.11. Check the price of oil. That underlies all of this, of course. We're down again. Look, $73 a barrel. We're off $1.21. What are your thoughts, company, on an oil price that keeps on dropping?
Hey, we were below $73 earlier this morning. We were 72.70 something. When was the last time we were that low?
I don't know, but I think it's a huge red flag. Listen, people complain when gas is up, but gas can't be up long term unless there's demand for it.
It's a red flag for what?
For what,
The
though?
economy.
Yeah, but look,
there's no demand. If there's no demand, it means our commerce isn't moving. That means trucks aren't moving. People aren't going to work. People aren't going on vacation. It's a red flag.
But it's also a downtime, right? We got a load of supply. It's a downtime before the summer season picks up. If you want to cut back at any point during the year, now's the time to do it.
Bernard, you've still got a microphone on. You heard it. This economy is not as strong as we wanted it to be.
No, it is certainly not as strong as we wanted it to be, but clearly
not as strong
I think
as $1 trillion worth of stimulus was supposed to give us.
the American people have a notoriously short attention span, and
They're
they're
so
fairly
dumb, aren't they?
impatient.
Oh, gee.
This economic
That's very
recovery...
condescending.
man.
That's very condescending.
No, it's
Yeah,
reality.
it is. You're talking
that's
down
not
to
true.
them.
It is real. I'm not talking down
Yes,
to them.
you are.
To dig us out of the economic hole in which we are is going to take a fair amount of time. The growth is not going to be like this. It's going to be like this.
Didn't take Ronald Reagan long, did it?
The circumstances in which Obama came into office, very different from the circumstances
Yes,
inherited
actually, you're
by
quite
Ronald
right.
Reagan.
When President Reagan came into office, interest rates were about 15–16%. Inflation was at double digits, and we were crashing into a terrible recession as bad as the one we've just had.
Stuart,
he got us out of it by giving control to the private
Stuart, that is
sector,
not true.
the government.
When Obama
It is
took
true.
over, we were this close to having a complete financial meltdown globally.
Yes, and it was George Bush's
the economic
Treasury
stimulus
Secretary who backstopped Wall Street and stopped the panic. And you know what? We are flat out of time, I'm sorry to say. Bernard, a pleasure. I got to check the price of gold because this is a flight to safety. The price of gold is going up some more. Not that. Look at this. Makes a liar out of me. I thought we were up nearly $20 an ounce. We were 2 minutes ago. Now we're up 8. But the Dow is down 148 points. What do you make of this? Gold all over the place.
Look at what's happening overseas. The Spanish index is down. All the banks overseas are getting clobbered today. SocGen, Deutsche, they're all down. Europeans are, this is spreading. It's not just in Greece now. Now we're seeing it in Spain. We're going to start to see it more and more in Portugal.
Want to be safe, but you're going to get a lot of this. I mean, you're going to get up 150 days, down 150 days, and when you have it down 150, you're going to go into gold because you want to be safe, especially, as we said before, on a Friday going into a long weekend.
But there's no inflation. There is no. We've got
No, there's no inflation, and the dollar is strong too, which makes it makes you wonder. Wow, people are that afraid.
Chaos.
That
I
is
think
fear,
this is
you're right.
fear of
This is
European chaos.
Direct fear.
And you don't want to. Over the weekend, who knows what's going to
That's
happen
right.
in Europe?
That's right.
Who knows?
Because Europe's the wild card now.
Are we done, Bernard?
Well, I will remind you. I will remind you. The last time we had a Democratic administration, we had 116 months of continued growth. That was achieved not exclusively through tax cuts. It was achieved through a mix of targeted tax cuts to the middle class, investment in infrastructure, and I think that we're going to see that exact thing happen with Obama.
Era.
He created the environment for the .com.
That's
to
right.
explode.
The
It was Mr.
era.
Gore who invented the internet and gave it the .com. I'd forgotten. I had forgotten. I'm very sorry. Bernard, now we really are out of time.